Morgan, and of course we're coming to you live from Mona. It is Wednesday, September 10, a week on from the Wednesday, September 3 general elections, the 19th general elections here in Jamaica, and following the taking of the poll. That is the poll that really matters, because in the lead up to the elections, you know that there's the blue dot poll. Some people describe it as the green dot poll. And then there is the Don Anderson poll. The Don Anderson poll, which typically ahead of elections has the PNP in front, and has them in front in a clever little way. But the poll that really matters is the poll that was taken last Wednesday, the actual poll. And that poll culminated in a win for the JLP. Yes, 35 seats to the JLP, 28 seats to the PNP. The phone lines are open and available, listeners. You may hit us up, 876-212-9824. And there's also 876-462-0919. So repeating the numbers, 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. I must tell some of the avid News Talk listeners a pleasant morning. Margaret, Marie Wilson, Al, Mr. Marsh, Milton, South St. Catherine, Portmore, Carl, Fox. I want to hail those listeners this morning and encourage them, whether you are sorrowful this morning or joyful this morning. Call in, hit us up. I'd really want to hear from Mr. Marsh. How are you, Marshy? Don't be a stranger. 212-9824 462-0919. Hit us up, man. Let us have a chat. Let us dissect the elections. Yeah? Share your perspectives as to the thrills and the spills. What is for certain is that there are some folks within the ranks of the PNP clamoring for the scraps that are there. The 8 opposition Senate appointments are in sharp focus. I hear that one particular losing candidate has been calling down several phones to be tipped as one of the 8. Yeah? But there's something that we should look to. In the PNP's manifesto, they, in the pursuit of appealing to different segments of the population, yeah, in the process of enticing and seeking to attract voters, what they did was to give an undertaking that the PNP going forward would seek to ensure that in the composition of its Senate, yeah, it would draw from certain groupings in the country. Beg your pardon. They identified the Rastafarian community. They identified the Jamaican diaspora, and the PNP identified the Maroon community. Well, one of the major tasks that opposition leader Mark Golding, and we're assuming that he's going to be the opposition leader. One of the major tasks that opposition leader Mark Golding will have in the days ahead is to make a determination as to those 8 persons he will be recommending to the Governor General for appointment as opposition senators by the Governor General. So now, to the extent that you, Mark Golding, you, PNP, campaigned on, and you had it set out in your manifesto, providing accommodation to the Rastafarian community and the Maroon community and the diaspora community in the Senate. We are going to be looking to see, or at least I am throwing it out this morning, we will see what Mark Golding is made of. We will see if he is the hypocrite that some of us know he is and know him to be, or if he's someone who can be taken at his word. Yeah? So now, when the 8 opposition senators are recommended by Mark Golding, we here in Jamaica should look closely and keenly as to whether there's any representative of Rastafari among them. Yes? Whether there's any representative of the Maroon community. So we're looking out for Richard Curry, Mr. Mark Golding. Send on the Curry. Yeah? So whether it is one of the colonels from one of the Maroon communities across the country, like the Moortown Maroons or so, or whether it is Richard Curry of their Compound Maroons, you need to put your money where your mouth is. You gave big talk in a manifesto about Maroon and Rastafarian. So send us that person who is representative of the Rastafari community. And we're looking keenly to see who from the Maroon community, whether L.A. Lewis, Richard Curry, or one of the colonels over in Portland. Yeah? This matter of the Senate is going to be the first thing that Jamaica can look to get a good picture as to who and what Mark Golding is. Because he will have an opportunity to demonstrate that what they set out in their PNP manifesto was even worth the paper it was written on. Jamaica is in a campaign at present to make it to the 2026 finals of the World Cup of football. You'll remember, listeners, that this business of attending upon certain events, is something that the opposition leader Mark Golding has taken a lot of flack over. Guess who was noticeably absent from the National Stadium last night? People like myself were in attendance. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness, was in attendance. Our Sports Minister, Olivia Babsy Grange, was in attendance. Other officials of government, including our Finance Minister, our first female Finance Minister, Favour Williams, also attended upon the match. Many patriotic Jamaicans who support our football program, who are egging on our Reggae boys, who are rooting for the Reggae boys, wanting to see Jamaica grace the stage yet again in the finals of the Football World Cup. That's what the World Cup is referred to as. It's referred to as the finals. Because prior to the World Cup itself, or what we consider the World Cup, was a number of preliminary activities which culminates in the World Cup, which is considered the final round. Yeah? So Jamaica is competing in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. We're in a group where we're drawn alongside Trinidad and Tobago, Curacao, and Bermuda. This past Friday, listeners, the Reggae Boyz defeated Bermuda 4-0. Last evening inside the office at the National Stadium, we defeated Trinidad and Tobago, one of our arch rivals, 2-0. Much to the elation and jubilation of the spectators who attended upon the National Stadium and those who would have been looking on via some other feed or broadcast. But the gentleman who offered himself to serve you as Prime Minister last week Wednesday in the elections was very, very noticeably absent from the stadium last evening. I wonder why. I gather we have a call on the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Straight Up.
Morning, Marlon.
Morning, Mr. Africa.
Why you not in a call?
Yes, man, we're taking calls. You're live on the program, Africa. And earlier on the program, I have been giving out the numbers and inviting calls. 212-9824 and 462-0919. So you're on. You're live on air.
I call the program on the Virgin.
Say again? I'm saying
you call the program, man.
I'm saying
the program they have to talk about things, you know.
Well, there you go. I join you, sir. I threw out some names earlier and invited them to call in. Portmore, pensioner, country. This guy who calls in from talks about Northwest St. Catherine issues. Always hail up Damien Crawford. His country name, no? Marsh. Yeah. I have a couple of JLP supporters, Carl and Fox, and South St. Catherine. I'm encouraging all of those people to call in. I'd really like to hear from Margaret and Marie and Marsh. And
I remember our station in Roman, you know, call the station and talk when I talk, Betchen. So I think doing now.
Because
so the swearing, when I go have swearing?
Good question, Africa. Now, when the election is contested, Africa, what emerges on the night of the election is the preliminary count, right? It is the presiding officers at the respective polling stations who do the tabulation and provide the preliminary count. The final count, which is really the official count, is done in the days following the election by the EOJ's personnel. Those are the respective returning officers. And they're the ones who essentially certify the winners in the respective constituencies.
Marlon.
Yeah.
You think we need a camera inside of those, in those places to make sure the thing do right?
That is going to be a bit contentious. I understand what some would seek to achieve by having a camera situated in the precincts of the polling station, but there are persons who would not even want it to be known that they attended upon the polling station, and there are persons who would be discomforted by something like that, because as you know, your vote is private. I don't suspect or propose that the camera would determine how people vote, but some people would prefer to not have their very participation widely known.
Not in the part where mark the box.
Yeah, man, I understand that, because you couldn't have camera intruding on that. That would be overly intrusive.
Yes, me talk mostly when the thing account, because you have a lot of discrepancy out on the road here, you know, about the counting.
Which is why, Africa, there's a particular built-in feature to mitigate that. And that is, at each polling station, Africa, you have one person who is responsible. That person is called the presiding officer. There's a person who supports that person who is called the poll clerk. And then the respective candidates are entitled to an agent of theirs, meaning a representative of theirs in the precincts of the polling station. And therefore, the PNP typically has an indoor agent and the JLP typically has an indoor agent. And so, if your ambassador is there, you should expect that your agent, who is your ambassador basically, your representative, is superintending or observing the process rather in such a way as to ensure that your interests are advanced and protected.
But you can see, the trust when we are putting on the people then, you say money pass to somebody and them turn a blind eye on something and you hear some money run. You see me I say?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because as you know, you can always have people turn a blind eye if a certain sum of money drop.
Yes, Marlon.
So that's a good point.
And it will to the both side.
Because even if somebody is a person's ambassador or agent, if a man give the person a figure that is too good to refuse, they may well, though they're your agent, become a double agent.
So me also remember, Jane. So me I call Marlon, say if I can't get them to put camera in on the thing, to count the thing them, Marlon.
That's what I mean.
You can't depend on the people them again, my brethren.
Alright, so you're saying we're in a low trust environment, and given the complaints that we have been hearing, it is better to use the technology so that we can know definitively what happened.
Yes, Conrad, Marlon.
Alright, it's not a view I share for the reasons I expressed earlier, but I respect your perspective and you're entitled to your suggestion and opinion, because what you're saying, the technology can go a far way in serving as a certain safeguard.
Yes, my brethren.
All right.
And the swearing in now.
Oh, yes. So the Prime Minister is going to have audience with the Governor General this morning or throughout the course of today at whatever point in time. And then the details as to the Prime Minister's inauguration and that subsequently of his cabinet, his political executive, will emerge. So I think we can look out for news on that either throughout the course of today or tomorrow.
Oh, so we don't have a final day yet?
We don't have an indication yet. So we will get that indication either from King's House or I suspect Jamaica House following the Prime Minister's meeting with the Governor General.
Marlon.
Yes, sir.
This name swear, you know.
Well, that's right. Very powerful.
That's a name swear.
So it is firm commitments people giving.
More on the government them swear to serve the people in Jamaica, yeah?
That's a good call, Africa. I concur with that wholeheartedly. We shouldn't take it lightly indeed.
May I beg you for that, yeah, Marlon?
All right, Mr. General, I hear you loud and clear, sir.
Give thanks, Marlon.
Good, one love. All right, that was a very good intervention there by Africa. And as I said earlier, even though it's an observation that I don't share in terms of the call, gonna run to another call, but just before we connect with that caller, we're gonna take the break and then pick up on the other side. Stay with us here on Straight Up. All right, connection made. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hold on, man.
Yeah, a few minutes, man. Let's go ahead, man.
All right, all right, tell me something. Almost Senator, the Prime Minister, to nominate.
So the Prime Minister will recommend 13. That's 13, sir. Is this Lewis?
All right. Come on, me understand that. All right. So, me you say no, then you want to play some more goal in about them nominate people from the diaspora the marrow, right?
Well, not even so much the diaspora, but because we don't get to the part there, but more so the Maroon community and the Rastafarian community.
Let me put the time for them.
Yeah, man, sure.
Remember, I didn't have last time. I hope it, right?
Yeah.
So we're saying if in the 13, that is the handsome type, right? It's still have it political one and in the name 5 section. That's what you say?
No, man. The concept is that the principle is what you have to focus on. The principle is that.
Well, I mean, we have that question, Jamaica.
Yeah.
We have 5 additions, don't we?
No, he will have 8. He will have 8 to appoint to nominate.
If he become Prime Minister, Mr. Morgan, he now 13, don't it?
That's correct.
Hold on, man. So he will not still have a political one, and he now name 2 from the other church, 1 from the Adventist,
Not so, Carla. Not so.
And then you can, when we finish that, so now 5 additions. So he might be name 2 from the church, 1 from the Maroon, 1 from civil society, and 1 from overseas.
1 from the football program, 1 from the cricket program, 1 from the Vegan Society of Jamaica.
How about that? Yeah, be a political one. Be a political one too. It's not supposed to be political, but you have the political one. And the other 5 now. 1 from the diaspora, 1 from the Maroon, 1 from the Rasta, and civil society. Anything wrong with that?
Alright, so Carla.
He not get the 5, you know.
So what is wrong with that is this. What is wrong with that is this, right? It is the principle that applies. And let me explain to you what my... Hold on, Carla.
Nobody can use that for nobody, man. I can use technical.
Hold on, man. You put your perspective. Just allow me a moment to proffer my view on the matter, right? Now, the idea is this. What Mark Golding and the PNP sought to come with is something that suggested to readers and to people looking on that they want to have a certain degree of inclusivity in the composition of their Senate. Now, whether your Senate is on the government side or on the opposition side, if your logic is inclusivity, that inclusivity, my brother, should bear out in your opposition benches nevertheless. So if you think that you should have a discrete space for Maroon representation, diaspora representation, and Rastafarian representation, it should apply whether you are determining opposition senators or government senators. That's my position. That's my perspective.
All right. Your position is wrong. Let me tell you straight out, that's wrong. Because we not get the other 5, so we're not sure we can do that. So nobody come use technicality for nobody like we have done say. And you are right one. Right? That's finished now.
So why you not get the other 5, Carla?
Because we're not the government, we get the majority.
Okay.
It's common sense of Mr. Morgan.
True that. That's a common sense.
You get the 5.
Mm-hmm. So your understanding of it is that there's the political 8 plus 5, and it was the additional 5 that the opposition leader and the PNP were proposing to inject some inclusivity into.
All right, that's my understanding.
Your analysis, right. Yes, fine, cool. Can't fault a man for. Yeah, man.
Tell me something. We have 14 going into the election, right?
What about that?
14 constituency going into the election.
Yes, that's right. That's right, sir. 14.
Your party gets any out of the 14?
No, sir. You retained all 14. Kudos to you, sir.
Hold on. So you're telling me that if you couldn't get 1 out of our 14, you couldn't get 1 out of our 14, you know? And we got 14 from you at the
Michael Manley, sir. Caller, Michael Manley used 2 words. We'll soon come back to the point I'm making, but just allow me 20 seconds. No, but don't worry about the time, man. Hold on, man. Remember, say time never better come, so we have time. Just hold on, man. I could just reason through something, caller. When he attended upon the Gleaner some years ago, Michael Manley used the 2 profound words, and those are the 2 words that I'm going to commend to you this morning, because you just put to me that my political party didn't take any of your 14, and all I will say to you is the same thing that Michael Manley said to the Gleaner. Next time, yeah, man, 40 years ago, that is the same thing I'm saying to you. I am saying 2 simple words: next time. Roger that?
Listen, all right. All right, tell me something. The 63 constituency already, right?
That's right, sir.
Right? You're not, all right. Why is only 1 out of the 63 in change?
1 out of the 63 change? Oh, you mean the Central Kingston matter?
Yes.
Because, Carla, as I was explaining with Africa a while ago, on the day of the election, what is taken, sir, is what is referred to as the preliminary count.
So somebody get fired for that?
If somebody's supposed to get what?
Somebody's supposed to get fired.
No, man. In fact, they will be very much paid, caller.
Correct.
Because I gather... No, man, caller, just to be clear, and for the benefit of the conversation and for the edification of our listeners, there is oftentimes, sir, a variance between the number determined by the preliminary count and the number established by the final count.
You want only change the
Oh, you didn't want to lose more? You didn't want to lose more?
I
only sorry, so we never pick up Southeast St. Mary. My brother, I only sorry, say Chris Brown sitting in the parliament. Yes?
Isaac. One to Burgess.
Isaac is going to be a one-term MP. Hear me about Isaac. Isaac had signed up like 3 other people at least to be government MPs and ministers. Alfred Dawes, Wavell Hines and Isaac Buchanan will be one-term MPs. They have no interest in serving the people. Their only interest is to be government ministers. And there, that ship has sailed.
Which of your constituencies do by the least?
Say again, which one?
Which of your countries are getting which will win by
the narrowest margin for the JLP? I think that would be well, let me give it some thought.
I don't want to Manchester, I don't miss corporate.
I think it may be rolling by 100 and something. I think Terrelong. So because Tova was probably 300 and something. Favour had over 500 votes, so a decent margin. So it will be Rhoda, sir, who may have had the narrowest of margins insofar as a JLP victory is concerned.
Okay.
So you made that point to say what? You raised that to say what?
No, because make it look like one term MP. Everybody has to start at one,
Yeah, man, but you don't understand the point to me, me G. Let me explain to you how I get that.
How many first one time MP? How many?
Yeah, man, indeed. All of the Westmoreland man them and so on.
One time I MP, a lot of Boyz and like that around the same one time. What are they do? You have to withdraw that stuff. Withdraw that statement, so we don't know.
No, man, you don't understand me, I get that. Alright, come on, let me give you the analysis. Let me give you the analysis. Well on, man, well, no, man, remember say anything might happen, but let us see, let me walk you through something, comrade. Let me walk you through something. Supporter, let me walk you through something, PNP supporter. See? You see, being an MP, people call on your phone, people come to you with their various issues, all of those things. I am putting it to you and the wider public. Alfred Dawes don't have no time for none of that. Isaac Buchanan no really sign up to that. Yeah?
You can't talk about me, man. Nobody will that. Nobody just deal with just discuss full of problem and leave one alone, my youth. When we are talking general.
As a matter of fact of discussing, alright, on the point of discussing problems, what are you doing in relation to your leadership?
No, man,
I'm not listening to me reason with you about. I'm reasoning with you, sir, about the PNP's future, their leadership.
You can't talk to me, man. You can't talk to me.
Oh,
yeah. Talk about the party. You can't talk to me.
I'm not talking for you, sir. I am canvassing you on a matter. In short, my brother, I pick your brain on a matter. Who is it going forward? Michael Phillips, Julian Robinson, Damian Crawford, or Leighton Scramble? Which one of them is it going forward?
Only going forward.
Remember some market G to get feeling.
I don't mean the shut up spoke first. I don't mean.
Yeah, but I'm saying, leadership.
You don't know who might be minister.
But we're discussing the leadership now, caller.
When you keep that out, when you find somebody sharing out when you say, you say, no, what is
Yes. But I didn't get into any business of shadow cabinet with you, you know. What I'm asking you, sir, now that Mark Golding has been written off, you ever see a car get right off yet?
All right, I'll buy back the service and fix it up. You ever see a right off car with here? You ever seen it? You ever see it?
True, I've seen it.
Well, my big one never driving until you wrote 2019. And within 6 months back, and for you think?
The fender back in order.
Can it can replace?
Very well.
It can replace any bigger part, you can replace.
So you're not looking in that direction then? You're looking at the salvage then? You're not looking for a new unit like DML, Carford and Julian Robinson? But no, so I'm saying politically therefore. So caller, politically therefore, you're not looking for a new unit. You're looking to salvage Mark Golding. Which is why, as I said, take your cues from what he does in the days ahead regarding these Senate appointments.
You remember the leadership race in your party some years ago?
Which one? Yeah.
You remember the state board in Andy they were at you remember some of them?
Yeah, man, they were entitled to their views. Remember now, caller, you see when people have views, what you must do is prove them wrong. No, let me ask you a question. Hold on, caller, let me ask you a question. Would you concur with me that in relation to any dissenting view or detracting view, that Holness would have since proven those views wrong? Would you agree with me?
No, sir.
Oh?
Because if anyone has country to backside, it's charity. It is to do with any country. That's not mathematics long time. You not that's not in our history. Because first the Constitution, you know, if anybody reads Constitution and some country, you know, and get it later, then talk, you know, that we know they are talking about it.
All right, so let me change gears a bit, caller. Let me change gears a bit. Now, following the elections, right? Following the elections, caller, I have seen where the PNP has gone into denial mode, raising controversial issues about voter suppression and all kinds of things, right? What would be your advice to the PNP that you essentially support? You just say you're not a member per se, or you do identify? Say again? Yes, man.
We have, I just 1 week to that 1 week in election on it. So we have, we still have another time ready to push but can't do it, you know. Let me ask you one thing. You remember, with a big man, Martin, the text. You're not going to stand by the party, not going to stand by a hand over the country to the PNP. You know what a divine thing that somebody influence them now. Who could tell what would happen? My brother will not ask you. We don't know.
So, Carla, I want to share this perspective with you, supporter, PNP supporter. I want to share this perspective with you. See? You see, Desmond Mackenzie's call is a way of rallying labor rights to take the elections very seriously and leave no stone unturned in lawfully. Yes? Doing what is to be done to secure victory.
Justify that way, no problem with that. I'm not with you and Peter. But that's not sleeping, you know. And we have a conscience, you know. We have a conscience to live by, you know.
But I have a question to put here, Carla. Quite a few. Okay. But I have this question to put here, Carla. What do you plan to do politically in terms of making the PNP a bit more viable over the next 4 years and 51 weeks? Since you say it's 1 week gone, so you have spent 1 week in the position so far. We have 4 years and 51 weeks left.
Well, I remember what the minister that Trump said about 2 years more said. and my general secretary not want to talk about so we can't tell. Let me tell you one thing, man. If PNP is blunder, with why they must feel it. Right? Right. And JLP are blunder, they are why they must feel it. They are right, you know. And because the men of men, none of the party, you know. You have pension, I know. You have pension, I know. A long time we stop working.
Yeah.
Right now we have to ask somebody like a 69-year-old. And
so you hear what is in it for you? What? As a pensioner, have you heard what is in it for you with Jamaica having chosen Jamaica?
Well, I'm saying, after 20 years, I get pension, you know. And every month I get a pension, you know.
But I talk about that. I talk about, so Carla, General, you listening? At present, based on the commitment of the government, which has now won the elections in, there will be a health insurance for older persons instituted so that your medical conditions will have pension, health insurance, a universal health insurance provided for you guys.
You have that.
Oh, you have that already? So what about your brother or sister pensioner who do not have that? Who does not have that?
No matter which government they have their rate pension. Let me tell you that no matter which government.
You know the question I ask you, my brother.
Don't matter. We talking about it. We have a wish to come true. Because if I see in a government, I think now is what I propose come true. So why with that?
But this specific proposal was not put forward by the PNP. It's put forward by my side.
Only that government, you know. Only that government and no for the PNP, you know. And we know what speculate what inside, you know.
Alright, Carl, let me pick your brain on another matter. Let me pick your brain on another matter, Zin. Let me not say the PNP has been in opposition. And they came with a manifesto. And then at the 11th hour, they came with another aspect of manifesto. How do you feel about that? This idea of manifesto 1 and manifesto 2. That not sound chaka to you?
Yes, we put out one and we put out no any yet. Or even we put out one and only first time put out only first time put out
no man, hold on man. We not talk about the woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's why I couldn't have bit me general. I am saying these guys had a manifesto and then a manifesto light, them call it. What is your assessment of that?
Let me ask you one question. When budget read in Parliament, go to a supplementary budget.
Oh, it says a supplementary manifesto.
Yes, let's say that then. We have to open and come out. I have to technically. Let's see how you technically to comment.
But Carla, if you are come forward with a suite of plans and proposals, you can't have, a part 2 of plans and proposals.
Yes.
That is a little 11th hour vote grabbing attempt.
We understand. We understand how we have tomorrow proposal from that.
Listen, those guys, the JLP guys, were waiting for you to put your cards on the table and then appropriate some of your cards.
No, why you criticize the put out one?
Because Carla, we do the public a service. But what I'm the General Chief, make us have the dialogue no one.
No man, you want to make a 25 minutes.
But what I'm saying, Zin, if your political opponents launch their manifesto and come out with some things, it is your duty to critique it. Because I can't understand, Carla, how the PNP was proposing to give up 11.4 billion on the NHT. How not propose to give up 11.4 billion at the NHT and then did not propose to do so much more at the same time? $10,000 to pick the gas school, $3.5 million threshold, and all kind of things. Yeah.
All right. 12 hours in a class. The argument is.
Yes, sir.
The teacher teach, the 12 can learn, But you understand?
Yeah, fair enough.
12 can learn, And even when the 12 can learn, some are brighter than some. So you have to take your time. Take your time. And then consultation and one other thing again. No, consultation, From last year, February before the local government election, you take our prime minister. And every time you go somewhere, you know massive program. You have almost billion and them to out of. And none of the question the price, none of the question how much it costs. In country and in year, man.
No, man, but Carla, for the most part, man, the costs attached to undertakings are outlined. What do you mean by that?
Alright, about almost billion. I'm not at the point from last year. So that's they are not election
the last 3-4 weeks, yeah?
Only billion, you know.
How much more?
All them projects. Just have a little time something billion, holding, something like that. You know, some of them money are overpriced. Some of them projects most overpriced, you know. We can sit down with the consultant and say, you're going to build a road that only the people might start. No man just come and shoot it up on about 20 million. No. We not sit down.
Yeah, but the figures that you hear them throw out in a caller, it's not an arbitrary figure, you know. It is based on precisely what you're talking about a while ago, an estimate of the works based on the scope.
Okay.
Yeah, man. This is the post-event reasoning, my brother, which is good. This is the post-event reasoning because last week Wednesday, you remember what you were doing last week Wednesday this time? Because you had the long line issue as well. Yeah, so Carla, you had the long line experience as well? Well, sorry about that experience, but let me ask you this more important question now. Carla, let me ask you this very important question now, yeah? Did you have your voter's ID last week? Huh? Okay, so you had your voter's ID. So you do appreciate though that there were many electors who didn't have theirs, myself included. And we are the ones who caused the process.
Somebody might have planned, you know. Somebody might have planned to start sometimes.
What kind of plan? Oh, this is a voter suppression plan, you mean?
So when you know about voter ID.
So, because we just never tell the time to go out and go pick it up, my G.
You might have an intention. You never
why the full of conspiracy theory, so?
Well, me and my mother said, "I want to hide it at this."
Yeah, that's more brown. I remember.
And you can't say, you should not take a chance to vote to back today. You and that communication, you should never get a chance to vote. That's what favorite.
Alright. I hear you loud and clear, my brother. We have to run. Don't be a stranger. Call back tomorrow again, my G. Call back tomorrow to reason for some other matters also. See?
Yeah, man.
All the best, my brother. All the best. Good. We run to the 11 o'clock and then come back with more.
Show a labor right. 5 more years for them.
Well, that's right.
5 more years for them.
I guess you're saying, Carl, the hotter the battle.
The hotter the battle. Senator Morgan.
The sweeter the victory.
Yeah. Before me reach to what I want to say. Could you believe that a man who could have want to lead a country could go on a national television and filter misinformation like what Golden did that 2 Thursdays ago?
I mean, the leadership debate. Asserting that the Prime Minister bought a Finsack house. Asserting that the Prime Minister was still under investigation, knowing fully well, based on the IC's annual report, that that matter was at an end or is at an end. He knows information to the contrary, yet...
You know what was the hurtest thing about it? The person who was asking the question, she asked another round of question and did not say to the man that you are misleading the world.
Well, I guess
she stood by it.
I guess as a questioner though, she not gonna see it as her duty. She would ask a follow-up, but outside of a follow-up, she's not going to editorialize by saying, hey, you are misleading the viewers.
Senator, she asked a follow-up question. But anyhow, Senator, yesterday I called.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, one will live same place in a Longfield Park when we lived here. Where anytime they can get people to carry them agenda, them line of misinformation, then doesn't want to speak to you. I asked him yesterday that if he didn't know that he would have lived in a Jamaica where we have crime cut by 43%. And
he said just make your point. Anything you say, he told you to just make your point. Don't want to engage you, don't want to answer any question you ask.
They don't want to engage you into things like, I hear what him run to, that the government declared 9 states of emergency. And when we try to put it to him, that the reason why the government did do that was to clear the place. That's why I was going to try to explain to the done now.
No. We could omit that part, characterization.
I was trying to explain to him now that the reason why the police them are reaping so much success is because the police the people them have to run up and down and can't stay one place. So the police them are doing an excellent job.
Let me just mention this, Carl. Yeah? When the states of emergency, the respective states of public emergency were being announced, you will hear the leadership make the point, the leadership of the country make the point that the prevailing crime situation exceeded the capacity of routine law enforcement. So in other words,
exactly,
based on the dynamics, the prevailing dynamics and so on, ordinary policing powers were exceeded by the depth, the nature, and the scope and breadth of the criminality in the country. And it's simple. And we have seen that for true. What we have seen now is that the security forces yesterday morning in Mandeville is a clear case in point. Persons who are seeking to create mayhem and take on the state, the outcome will be as it was in Mandeville yesterday. So for the bleeding hearts and for the JFJ folk who will seek to suggest that altar boys are the people being cut down, they have a next guest coming. Because when people, marauding gunmen, as Brown Man did, the same name, Brown Man, he is a cold man this morning, that's for sure.
Cold man.
Cold. Right at the Pamag, somewhere, wherever that is, yeah? Okay. So you're right, Carl.
Senator, what I can ask you.
Brown man.
When you look at them now, I heard one ask you this morning that the PMP going with 14 seats. And we couldn't take one. That's a stupid idea. The JLP going with 9 in a Kingston and St. Andrew and come out back with all 9. Ask him that.
Including the coveted Central Kingston.
Yes. And when I read what a person that was talking such foolishness this morning, never stop and look on. The seat where majority of the seats that them win back. Those were original PMP seats, and 3 of them then could even manage to win those 3. Central Kingston, Rhoda Crawford seat, and the one in Chilani.
That's right.
And to show you if a man could be going around the whole country, all foreign too, I tell people how things are bad in Jamaica, hospital is bad in Jamaica, and everything. And the people of Jamaica rejected them last week, Wednesday. Rejected them.
That's right.
The people of Jamaica rejected, again. Go back, go spin. And we are listening to hear a couple weeks or a couple months from now to hear 89 Old Hope Road is barking. It is going to bark up there because if you're looking at Gleaner yesterday morning, you see where the barking is soon come. And them say, he was one of the man when Portia lose to Andrew, he said Portia must resign. He was one of the man when Peter Philip lose to Andrew Wallace, he said must resign.
Leighton Scramble or Pisa?
The same goal in here. Same goal in here.
Okay, yes.
And now him lose to Andrew again. Him now want resign.
Well, one of the things Leighton Scramble used to say on the political platform is that them have to get a beating, them must get a beating, them going get a beating. Well, what we will say to the opposition leader, him have to resign, him must resign, him go and resign.
Time come, it's song when they sing, the time comes, it come back around to golden now. Time come for him to consider to move on. That's what
and the KD night words come as well. Time to pack your
bags and go.
But we're just making fun still because the PNP's issues and problems are not mine, and they are not Jamaica's. I am imploring Jamaica to stay focused. Let us continue to build this great country of ours. We are well placed for takeoff. We have record low unemployment.
Right.
Record low debt.
3.3.
That's right, 3.3% unemployment.
Right.
Poverty has been cut in half. We have cut the debt in half. Yes, so much so that man can come now and I promise $3.5 million income tax threshold. If the economy isn't in a good place, exactly.
Something with them did say couldn't work. Them I tell we now say can't work. Something with them did I say couldn't work. Them I tell we say no we can't work. And them want to go way up to 3.5. But they couldn't work when we did say 1.5.
All right. All right, God. Appreciate the perspective.
We talk, Senator.
All right, so that was Carl, no doubt one of the avid supporters of the governing Jamaica Labour Party. Always sharp in terms of his perspectives. He is an elector down there in Clarendon Southeastern. So he was one of those persons behind the bid and campaign of Pernell Charles Jr. Yes? And so Carl no doubt would be elated consequent on the JLP's victory, and in particular Pernell Charles Jr.'s victory in the election. We're going to go back to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Straight Up.
Can I get it? Yes.
Morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Speak up a bit there, Bongo.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. And welcome back.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Bongo.
Yes. So, I'm also happy that you display the professionalism by, articulating with the PNP colors,
yes,
as you have always done, unlike the narcissist, the person who obviously that, in color bigot, that I'm referring to brand, who display bigotry.
Yeah, man, we have to ignore, and but press on with your observation while, leaving out the characterizations of other presenters out of it.
Yes. All right. So here we know. I'm moving, so you're gonna find them for the here. All right. No, my friend. You said Marlon wasn't at the football thing. He
wasn't there. So remember now, if Jamaica makes it to the World Cup, it would only be the second time we would have done so. And for Jamaica to feature on a global stage like that, a major stage like that, it is great. And as we saw back in the 1997 campaign, Bongo, leading to the 98 World Cup, it is great to have the entire country behind the initiative and the effort. And for whatever reason, I suspect reasons known to many, he was not present last evening. But when the hustings were on in earnest, he drew himself to be at some of these events.
So I ask you a question to ask you.
Yeah.
Does Marlon have a house in Jamaica?
No. Based on his statutory declarations, though he lives at a dwelling, obviously, he doesn't own a house.
He doesn't. And second, I'm gonna ask you the question.
So he doesn't own a house in Jamaica, but he wanted to occupy a Jamaica house. What can go so?
Okay. Right. The next question I want to ask you, and I want you to think carefully. I'm rushing through my question because I don't have the time.
Yeah, man, sure. I understand the
Mark
constraint you may be on the job, and I understand that, yeah.
Yes. Did Mark Golding present a birth certificate during the debate?
Mark Golding presented what he purports to be a birth cert.
But the journalists, like I remember what this woman, the woman Quarry on the station.
Jordan Quarry, yeah.
How do they know that the document he presented was authentic? Let me tell you why I asked, sir, and Jamaica. I have been a sports master for Easter Sport at my school for years. And when footballers come present their birth certificate, quite often it's a send it back and say not qualified. That's a bogus birth certificate. And careful examination. It fooled us because where I'm from, they used to manufacture birth certificate, right?
Oh.
So what I want to know, I'm asking this question. Even when children want to get in the school, they would manipulate their birth certificate. So this setup could, I don't know what to call them, that he presented his birth certificate. How did I know that? At the time, so, no, listen carefully. I'm not going to prolong the argument whether I was born here or not. But I'm just saying, somebody presented something and say, here's this, and they run with it.
And everybody take it at face value.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take this thing further. You see, listen, Mark Golding, he didn't, I remember PJ when he said 1990 it was far too late for me to wait to fly the gate when we qualified. So this man, a Capanaris man, as he is, a Capanaris, yes, he had no regard to call our people low class. He disrespected, right, most honorable Prime Minister wife, he disrespected her. And you have people like Marie, a woman, yes, Simon Crossgill, Herbert Gill, and others. You know what Simon Crossgill tell me? That because he questioned his loyal to Jamaica, he is going to tell the businessmen not to support the JLP. That's what Simon Crossgill said on radio, because he wants to be an elite. He has a big mouth and a small brain. And anybody, he ridicule people. When I called him, I didn't call him, I've never called him on the phone before. And he told me to cut me off because I said, does Mark Golding have something to say about reparation and so on? Simon Crossgill said he's going to tell his Capanaris friend at the radio station not to support the GOP in terms of so on. I wonder where he's pushing ahead now. What I say? And I heard Herbert here, the so-called the professor who's supposed to be a learned man, questioning whether the miscount in Central Kingston, if people can miss that. He doesn't seem to understand. He's a researcher.
Yeah, I think I was listening to both the programs you referred to. I was listening the afternoon with you and Simon, and I was listening on Monday when Herbert Gay was essentially making the point of it being strange as to the variance. The truth of the matter is that it's a preliminary count, and we know that people may err, yes, because a lot of these election day workers are largely folks who are do all the hustle, and not all of them assimilate the training in the way they ought to assimilate the training.
You don't, sir, with respect, you don't have to explain anything. It is how deceptive that the man is. When I told him that Mark Golding came to say he just only man can free black people, he's telling me that where I saw that, I must provide him with website. When I told him that Mark Golding ancestors were flavors, he said, where? He shut me down and cussed me out, and it's a part of the plan. Dr. Gale, Simon Clark, they damn well know that when you do preliminary count, there are certain things you might ignore and so on and so on. And they come into, they know.
And invariably, Bongo, there's a variance in almost all instances between the figure as per the preliminary count and the figure per the EOJ's official count, or what is called the final count. What happens at the polling station on election day is but the preliminary count.
Yes, what I want to
So what they did was to just break Steve McGregor's heart in a million pieces because he stood on the stage like Please Puss last Wednesday evening, being celebrated as newly elected MP.
Well, you know what I want to say. I'm just rushing it, like, you know. So don't feel disrespected in a way. Listen to me. I will say to my comrade friend, comrade, please accept the victory for the JLP, and your time will come. Your real time will come. We are one Jamaica. Let us not yield to the narcissist who is telling you to protest. I heard him call us to protest because I don't have a street light. Try to create problem of talking about the Constitution of the Prime Minister.
Down in West Central St. Andrew. Fixating on West Central St. Andrew all of a sudden.
Yes. He doesn't even have shame because he was telling every minute he tell people, oh, we can get a call that this candidate gonna beat us on who and go on and
listening also hilarious. It is us, you know, intriguing listening to the fellow.
So Marlon, let me say this.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Dan on this, the brother of Beverly and his man, speak to the all need a survey and research
and the consumer confidence survey? Well, you see,
I think that.
Well, watch me now, Bongo. The private sector organization. No, I think it's the Chamber of Commerce, the JCC, that commissions done for the business and consumer confidence survey, and various media houses and political parties commissioned him.
They won't listen to him. He went to St. Lucia in 2016. I heard a man telling you that he's not only renowned in the Jamaica but the Caribbean. You remember the St. Lucia?
Yeah, man, I remember that bus stop. He was ridiculed for, you know, and accused of certain things.
Blue Dot put forth scientific approach. And you will tell me that, you remember, you know, from when Nancy doing this, he told Moti, he put up all the survey that nobody listened to Moti. When Moti was the most popular radio talk show way back in the 90s, Dan and Paul said that nobody listened to Moti. So then, and I remember now, hear me and you know, brother. I recall I saw a little part of Orlando where Dion Jackson Miller was trying to tell you that this is the poll we're going to discuss, that under the poll. And you were saying, but the other poll, you remember that part?
I asserted myself because Dion Jackson Miller thinks she's slick. And I'm making the point to her that yes, I'm on this program where you have the Don and the supposing to sharp focus, but there are other polls that exist in addition to our own internal polls that we undertake in the Jamaica Labour Party. So Dion Jackson Miller has our next guest coming.
No, she her face during the election night. Listen.
And she has become a meme, quite frankly. The whole PNP leading versus when JLP won.
By the way, sir, she asked Marlon an open-ended question during the debate and tried to pin down the Prime Minister with questions.
And I saw the battle pan catch the Mark Golding about persons with disabilities, so that him can come and reel off about him father, Sir John Golding.
Marlon, come to me, Mr. Point. Marlon, Mark Golding's father was about rehabilitation, right? The buses that Dalvars bring, are they compatible for children with disabilities?
That is correct. They are very compatible with disabilities to the extent that it can be lowered and so on.
Our taxes.
Our taxes are not, nor are the coasters that Colin Bell and the PNP recommending.
So Omar was rejecting what the government of Jamaica do for help the people with physical disability. What about Floyd Morris? What he has to say about it? You see the point I'm making? I hope, my friend, because I have to run now. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you.
I hope that now that we have time has come now for this Tapanar, this British aristocrat, to be flushed down the cesspool of colonial history. That's what he needs to do. I would prefer a PJ, a Portia, a Michael Manley, a Peter Phillips, a Damien Crawford. I heard them saying that he did well. Peter Phillips when Peter Phillips ran, it was 460 something like that. About 60,000 people voted. How many voted and am I voted? No. How many voted?
How much they got is 403,000 relative to the JLP is 413,000.
So a man who was leading this poll, the whole PNP entourage, and let me say this to you, the PNP is a former Labour Party. And if they couldn't pop them up, all the party, us and all they couldn't put Humpy Dumpy together again.
No, but Bongo, you have to go down the line to some other elements. Remember, there are some elements in civil society, but hold the line. We are up on the 11:30 break. We're going to come back. We have been inviting and we haven't been hearing from them. Folks, please feel free to chime in and place your thoughts and opinions on the table. Let me say good morning again to Marsh. Good morning again to Al. John Pollock even. Good morning, John Pollock. And Marie and Margaret and all of the PNP supporters in particular, many of whom at this time are no doubt reeling from the shellacking the PNP suffered last Wednesday. We're back with Bongo nevertheless. Bongo? All right, Bongo, we're back with you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So before the break, yes, you had made a point, no, because I was enumerating a number of the elements that the Prime Minister and the JLP by extension were up against. Yeah. Now, you made mention of the PNP throwing the kitchen sink at it. You also have to bear in mind a number of what we have come to call and characterize as civil society groups and opinion leaders associated with some of these civil society groups. So whenever discussions are happening on respective issues in the country, we know that it is the Jeanette Calders and the Carol Narcissus and the Daniel Archers and some of these people, Michael Jackson and those others who are called. We saw people like Peter Espute coming out with some articles, basically exposing their orange undergarments, in my view. The Michael Abrams of this world came out basically taking no prisoners. So there were a number of elements. Artists were boarding planes, Elephant Man, when they Mark Myrie, aka Buju Banton. Let me say something about some of these entertainers, because we saw it in the United States. One of the things I'm imploring Jamaicans to appreciate and understand, especially JLP supporters, entertainers are precisely that. We pay them to entertain us. They make a living by entertaining us. They are not there to provide us with political views. We don't care about their political views. Gargamel is Gargamel, and I'm going to listen to Gargamel and go to a Gargamel stage show or concert regardless. So Buju Banton, there was a lady in the United States who told LeBron James to shut up and dribble. That is the same thing that should apply. No, I'm not going to go as far as that lady, because those guys are entitled to their political opinions and views. But just to be very clear, whether it is Buju Banton, Elephant Man, Beanie Man, any one of them, Beanie Man, you are Beanie Man. I am not interfacing with you as Moses Davis. I don't know Moses Davis. I don't know O'Neill. Well, Elephant Man name O'Neill Bryan, I think him name. Nor do I know Mark Myrie. When Buju Banton deal with him thing in a cocaine and whatnot when they get convicted for, none of us were there. We don't know about him and him runnings. Is Mark Myrie, Buju Banton? We don't know Mark Myrie. So for these guys who try to dabble in the politics, brother, let's understand this politics dabbling guy. We don't care about your political views. You're entitled to your political views. But your personal political views not going to be scoring any points for the PNP among people who make sense. Or people who have sense.
Yes, and also, you mentioned one of the biggest dinosaurs, Let me tell you what it is. Did CARICOM not declare that they're going to pursue reparation for...
that's right. That's an edict that came down from man. The regional grouping is of that mind.
So, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, sir.
So, very Shepherd, Hillary Becker, they suspended because Mark Colin was one of the ancestors of the NCA. Why is that? Why is that going on?
So you say you want to hear from the academy more on this matter. But we have to run, Bongo. I have another call.
No, hold on. No, hold on. I'm not saying that. I am saying that there is that conspiracy of silence because I'm sure Mark Colin won't be around for again. Why was it? When Everett Woman presented that
the lineage of Mark Golding, yeah.
Why have they not disputed it? Why are they silent?
That's what I mean.
I'm asking the question.
So you want to hear from the academy, especially those foremost researchers and scholars, the Beckles and the very shepherds of this world. All right, here Lord and clear, Bongo, have to run, leave you. Have to run and take somebody else. All right, all the best, my brother. Good. All right, we're fielding another call here on Straight Up as we are in the final 20 minutes or so of the program this morning. Morning caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Straight Up, sir.
Yes, you know, me always want to get on with you, but I'm glad I got a chance this morning.
Very well.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you about the whole thing I PNP leading up to election because you know them intended to send a lot of labor rights to prison if they had won the election. Yeah, no.
Give me the impression that they are judge, juror, and executioner.
Okay, I'm in St. Elizabeth. St. Elizabeth.
Noted, sir.
I happen to be in the arms of some PNP. Like most times they give me 10-1. Most times, at least they give me a 7-1 because when I live alone PNP, place where me hang out with
Myersville?
No, this is in Burn Savannah.
Burn Sav, Zine. Go ahead.
Burn Savannah. Yeah. In a little place called Spring Garden. So you know, they hang me daily. So me alone have to fight the battle.
Yeah, understand.
But what I want to understand now, all of those utterances on the platform chain from all of those Dayton Campbell, Damien Stafford and all of them. Can the Prime Minister give some justice and sue some of them to all of them utterances so they can prove?
Put it this way, there is so much that has been said over recent weeks, both on the PNP political platform and especially across social media platforms, including even last evening where I heard Andre Stevens using certain words to describe the police commissioner, especially in relation to this impasse at present between the commissioner of police and SSP Wayne Cameron. The extent to which these guys are going, so much of what has been said is essentially defamatory. You heard in Crossroads, Damien Crawford made some remarks about some gold spoon. Yes, and who never born with gold spoon, and that means say who or who mustn't teeth it and so on. There are some nasty comments that have been made that the Prime Minister's attorneys and others could in fact consider. But I suspect if the Prime Minister is going to be taking time to chase down all of these things, he may well be distracted in his mission of delivering on the great promise that this country has. Yeah?
Yeah.
Look back at what that guy Damien Crawford said in Crossroads. Ridiculous.
All of that, no. But look here now. We know say them art officers labor rights at jail more. They would go down to and you know how justice system stay in Jamaica. You know that 18-year PJ get Jamaica. You know amount top person will get in from
many persons fill certain positions.
Alright. We get the time now and we do what we should do and we are take back some of the city then. We are take back some of what we take back. But in order for me get a relief, me wouldn't like to some of them people that would chat too much and people listen too much. Wouldn't like to see them pay a fine or do some penalty. For some of them things simple.
from the band, me know political party always build slogans the other party. And the KD night no up with it now. So in Christopher Tufton Ghana quote, fi just build with the out in the public already to just use it against PNP party. So may I tell you how them decide to deal with the justice system. So me would not like to see some justice to some I think. You know, Integrity Commission merely make we lose the election, you know. You know, anyhow, Prime Minister did call election anytime after a local government election he lose.
Which is why
if he never take
which is why many of them were salivating and many of them were talking about call it Andrew call it. Every Friday I go Senate. Lambert Brown over there chirp up him mouth. But call election, no? Call election. Well, I kept telling him each Friday, sir, that when it called him not going to like it. And so said, so done.
Yeah.
So the result there, they need to hug up that.
If I remember, no. Because of the way Integrity Commission set up the Prime Minister. No.
That report, sir, that Integrity Commission report was laced with all kinds of editorializing that cast the Prime Minister in a negative light, and the person who authored that report, the Director of Investigation, Mr. Kevin Stevenson, knew precisely what he was doing. Many would conclude that it was a political hit job. Many persons are of that view.
Why I still have that job there?
Well, unfortunately, in my view, the commissioners have seen it fit to extend or to essentially issue a new contract to Mr. Kevin Stevenson.
You know, even if the government has nothing to do even if the government now nothing to do with the Integrity Commissioner, I know in a Siaga time him couldn't get back that job. In a PJ time, him couldn't get back that job.
Will tell you that it was Siaga who professed malice toward none, much to his demise, many would say. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Kevin Stevenson.
One more thing more.
Sure.
The one where they get robbed out by the out in a office space where they get robbed. What kind of money he did have in other space there, and why not come out of that?
The office space.
Yeah. Remember when I Integrity Commissioner person did get
yes, excellent point. You are referring, I think, to Ryan Evans. Ryan Evans is the Director of Corruption Prevention. He's one of the staff members at the IC. I think it is Ryan Evans, yeah? And he's someone who used to serve, I gather, as an advisor to Dr. Peter Phillips. And Ryan Evans is someone who is said to have been in the habit of making certain deposits. And on this particular occasion, based on his banking behavior, he was, pounced on by gunmen and robbed and whatever. Shooting incident ensued.
Oh, okay. So the money was the Integrity.
I don't think that money was recovered.
No, but he was going to do the lodgement by the Integrity Commission.
No, man, I'm private business. I'm not going to tackle sir. I'm private business. He was operating in furtherance, not of the IC, sir, but his private affairs. And that matter raised a lot of questions. The sum in question.
Meaning office did the inside the office.
That is correct, sir. He was at work. And like when they leave work for go tackle something and then come back and whatever, which is why the incident, sir, took place in the precincts of, in the vicinity of, where the Integrity Commission is situated, in New Kingston there.
All right, you probably can help me with this again. All right, me learn now because me talk to one lawyer, cousin me have England, and me learn say you cannot be, especially running for government in a Jamaica, and still have everything where you have undercover. What do you give to what you call it again? Where Andrew, what them to do yearly?
The statutory, you are to file your statutory declaration.
How them know where you file and when you not file.
All right. So just to be clear, Carl, I have to understand this. Mark Golding is fairly clever. Your statutory declarations speak to your assets, your income, and your liabilities. Mark Golding, it would stand to reason, has certain assets that are held in a particular vehicle. So it is not in his name personally, but it is in a trust or in a company's name. So it is not in his personal capacity or his personal name. So that is the mechanism that is used essentially by Mark Golding to cause him to not have to declare it in his own right. So basically, the house that he resides in, it is held in a trust essentially for his children or whatever. So although for all intents and purposes his theme house and they him sleep and entertaining guests and so on, I would imagine, he is able to circumvent by virtue of how he has structured his personal finances and holdings. So he doesn't hold that house in his name, Mark Golding. That house is held in trust in favor of his children, apparently, I gather, and so on. So there are ways and means that he has used essentially to be able to let me not say it's not usurp or mask. It is lawful, but persons would consider it as a bit unethical, because what you're doing is that you're giving an understated impression of your estate. Because remember now, in tax matters, for example, what is unethical may well be lawful. So for example, tax avoidance is lawful, but tax evasion is unlawful.
Okay, now so I watched a program. I watched a program one night with him, and the host asked him, like, how it's illegal for him to have everything he owns in trust, and he's now going to run for prime minister. What he's going to do? And he said he's going to untrust them. So I gather from here that it was illegal.
You gather from here that it was what? Illegal?
Yes.
No, man, having your holdings in a trust may be politically, what do you call the word? Politically contentious and controversial, but not illegal. Which is why the Integrity Commission has been able to consider and certify Mr. Golding's declarations.
Yeah, but let me ask you something now. If he had become the Prime Minister when in the September 3rd election, and he took, let me say, 200 million from Jamaica and put it in the trust, how could Jamaicans, how come Integrity Commission, police and other people find it?
Well, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Sir.
Like if you have some money from Jamaica, the money is missing, but he took it and take it and put it in the house. How them couldn't find it? It missing between few people.
Well, that's a good point. So the point you're making is that to the extent that an individual has a trust or these other convenient financial vehicles or estate management vehicles that you can essentially situate your assets in.
Yes.
What you're saying is that if someone were, God forbid, inclined to misappropriate money, you could easily do that and then stash it off in these well-protected vehicles. And it would, not be readily available for the scrutiny of investigative authorities, because it's a paper trail, as it were, that would be more difficult to follow. So I do take a point, sir. And just to be very clear, That's a hypothetical and academic, point. But we are just delighted. Many of us, sir, are breathing a sigh of relief. I suspect you are among them. We are delighted that Mark Jefferson Golding, the man who is called Marky G, is not the Prime Minister-elect of Jamaica.
Yes. But
Jamaica has been spared, in my view, that travesty. Yes? Much to the chagrin of Mary Wilson, Margaret, Marsh, Portmore, Country, Al, Salah, Metro, and others. Much to the chagrin of those people. Many of them who cannot take up their phone and call into this program, certainly when I am sitting behind the microphone, for reasons best known to them. But we say good afternoon to them nevertheless. As I say good afternoon to you as well, thank you for your call, sir. And I'm going to close out this afternoon with a hit from CC Winans, which puts into proper perspective the Thanksgiving, the collective Thanksgiving going up across Jamaica, having regard to Andrew Michael Holness emerging from last Wednesday as Prime Minister-elect. Let me thank my producer. Thank you, our callers and listeners, for your input today, and encourage you to stop by and spend time with us tomorrow again when we do it all over here on New Start 93 FM on Straight Up.